I've got a fun conversation here to share with you. I'm in the beautiful Mason Hotel, and more great work is being done here to get this open as a public space for folks in the community. One of the groups that does meet here and meets regularly are the Mason County Republican Women, and I'm with three great ones right now: Leslie Peterson, April Pooler, and Jayni Kamin. How you doing?
Great.
April reached out to me about the organization for a couple different reasons. Women's History Month is always a good one to tie into. Plus, you have one of the longest kind of groups in our community, which is a cool thing. Yeah. So we're just going to talk a little bit about it, the history, the background, how it works to shape and inform folks in Mason County. So April, you reached out, so we're starting with you then. Great. Tell me a little bit about the organization, how many members, things like that.
Well, the membership has varied over the years, but I reached out to Marilyn Laubach, who recently hurt herself a little bit to where she's been a little incapacitated to come to the meetings, but she told me that she's been going since 1971 to these meetings. She moved from California, where she was a good Republican back when there were Republicans in California. And they started just by going to each other's homes, meetings in the homes when it was smaller. And then it grew, and then they started meeting in different businesses as it grew. So it actually was before 1971, but we just don't know how much sooner.
And that's when kind of the main record keeping came in. Leslie, Jayni, tell me about when you became involved with this.
Well, I think I first became involved with the Republican Women's Club when I ran for county commissioner. I'd already been elected to the school board, so I had a little bit of, actually, I got involved more earlier than that when Peggy Johnson, who ran for state representative and was state representative probably about 3 or 4 terms, I think probably 4 terms off and on. And she was an incredible campaigner, and she really turned things around in Mason County as far as, getting the voter rolls and growing the central committee and really organizing things. So I don't know if she was an actual organizer of the Women's Club. I kind of think that was going a little bit before then. But going back, when I did, well, I wanted to say one more thing about Peggy. I mean, we all know, she was so influential in our community. But she actually won a chance to all of her efforts led to her being invited to Washington, D.C., where she was, hosted, I suppose, by the National Committee and got to meet President Reagan at that time. And that was always a big thing for all of us here in Mason County at that time.
I bet.
And my kids were young, and she had her Peggy's platoon, and she was just an incredible campaigner.
Peggy's platoon.
And so a lot of us, we graduated from helping her campaign and her fundraisers that she would have at the park or at their farm. It was really a place for us to learn a little bit about politics and how to run campaigns and to do all of that. So when I did run for myself, run for county commission, the Republican, several of the women invited me. They had a luncheon for me at Thelma Pune, who was one of the earlier members. And she had a home out on Bayshore there, and had this lovely luncheon and introduced me to the Republican women, and several of them offered to help me with my campaign. Chloe Scholes became my treasurer, and it was just a real big boost for me to have that support and that help at that level.
Leslie, talk to me a little bit about what a group like this means for kind of building the message that you want to get forth to all levels of government here in the county, from city to county to our 35th representatives. What does it what does it do to be able to get kind of a concerted effort moving forward?
And that's what I kind of believe is our main core goal, is to get the message out to bring people united, that there's other people that think the way they do. And sometimes we change each other's minds, but the main thing is to get the message out. And we did that through the movie theater, through just camaraderie, getting together and visiting and sharing ideas. The speakers, bringing in the speakers, the different elected officials, and it's awesome. It's really a neat opportunity. And I think the women have done a wonderful job.
That's one of the things about our area, I think it's so special, is that from all levels, again, you see them walking up and down Railroad.
Yes.
They're going to their small businesses that they own. You can give them a call on the phone, and our 35th representatives, they'll answer and talk with you about the issues and concerns that you have and what they're hearing in Olympia as well. It's not too far away that you can't get over there as well and talk with them a little bit.
Yep, the women's motto too. We really have worked well together, but we love to do the hard work, but we get things done and we have fun. So it's like we
That's
decided
right.
we have
That's
fun
right.
and get things done, and that's our motto.
So what are the types of events that you do, or kind of, I would call them extracurriculars, outside of a regular meeting where you do the business, but then you kind of work on the outreach or the fundraising and things like that?
Well,
Well,
you were doing a lot more before me, so.
One of the things that started out with our previous chair, well, I think you might have started it, Jayni, was the candidates in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where we would bring the candidates in. And it wasn't just our party candidates, Republicans. We would bring in the candidates from the community and give them all a chance to talk. It was on the lunch hour on a Friday. And I think that was really nice that we were able to hear from everybody. What are some other ones?
Well, that was one of the main ones, and the impetus for that came. I had gone to a women's club meeting in Olympia in Thurston County, and they had a picnic, and I went to their picnic, and it was there. They had a big scrapbook of all of their history and everything, and I'm like, we don't have anything like that. Let's do that. And so, you know, when I was chair of it, that's one of the things that we started. And I had also just come out of being an elected official, and so I knew all these different groups in the community, and I wanted our women to be as informed, to really know what was going on in the community and who was who and be part of it. And so that's when we really expanded our speaker program and to not just be political, but just what is, you know, like last month we had this wonderful woman who came from, what was
For the pet rescue?
Yeah, for pet rescue. And
Karen, Farm Girl Grace.
Yes, that we'd never even heard about, but it was a great opportunity for us to learn and, you know. Really
Not everybody knows what to do when we see a stray animal.
Right.
And we don't realize how hard it is and how much need there is out there for such a thing. So, yeah, community speakers are huge. That's what we try to do.
Right.
It's not all politics.
One of my favorites was when we'd bring movies into the movie theater, a local movie theater, and the Dinesh D'Souza, a lot of the political, but they're educational movies, and the community was invited and free of charge, you know, donation, and I think that was really a good way to reach out and to educate the public.
And we also had our book club and our
the book club.
conservation, or not conservation, conservative leaders' history.
Yeah.
It was a series that Newt Gingrich had done, and he's an incredible scholar and teacher, and it was really a fun thing to do, and we did that for years.
Of course, we have the expo, the Bite of Shelton. We have a booth there. We do constitutional games and contests and things like that. Just a lot of outreach, we try to help like different community groups too. Like say if we did our Christmas party one year and we donated 100% to, I always say the name wrong, so say it. Who did we give the $1,000 check to? Ministries.
Gethsemane Ministries.
Gethsemane. Oh yes, Gethsemane Ministries.
Yes.
And
You're not the only one.
Thank you.
A baby shower for CareNet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we would have
Annual
everybody
paper.
bring in items that they need and raise money for them. So yeah, it's honestly a lot of the times it is based on community. And I know that we are actually working locally with a couple of other ladies from the Democrat Party that we are actually working on a blood drive, March 31st.
Oh,
We're going
cool.
to have a blood drive that we are working together with some Democrat ladies. It's called the Peacemakers. I hope it's okay to say that. So some of our,
See, why
because we
not?
got to look at common ground,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was going
There's
to ask you that.
plenty of common ground
One
items.
of the things over the years I've come to know is that everybody here that I talk to wants the best out of Mason, wants the best for Mason County. Everybody has different ways of getting there, even within the
Yes.
same party, right?
Yeah.
They all have different ideas of what might make Mason County a better place. Like with those candidates in the park conversations, it's important to outreach to everybody. And so, politics can be so divisive these days and things like that. So how do you encourage folks to come in and be open-minded enough to maybe visit a Republican meeting or a Republican-led event if they go, I can't,
Right.
I mean, how do you go about and kind of bridge those gaps?
Exactly, find common ground interests.
Yeah.
We want to help maybe the homeless. We want to donate blood. We want to do a food drive. So that's the way you talk to people. That's a big way.
So if I'm doing some quick math here, 30, 55 years of known history of the Mason County Republican Women Club here, with many more decades to go.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned the blood drive, and I'll put that information out. And then also coming up mid-May, and we have the information here. I'll put the link to this as well.
Thank you.
And night at Independence Hall, a Liberty dinner with the Mason County Republican Women's Club on May 16th. From 6 to 9:30, it's going to be at the Ridge inside their
Yeah.
banquet hall. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
With a lot of great elected officials there, it looks like Representatives Griffey and Couture, Shelton Mayor Sharon Sherman, Ryan Sperling, our sheriff, Stevens, our Judge Stevens, and then Commissioner Pat Tarswell as well. So I'll put the links to this so people can get
Great.
tickets for that. And moving forward, you talked about the bite, you talked about the different efforts. What else would you, as a group, like to see how it evolves even more into the future? What other things do you think could bring in more members to the fold?
Well, I know that, I've been involved with the veterans for a long time. And last year, actually, because of our stand down that we have every year, that was our beginning of having some of the Democrat ladies help us with that. And that was our first start of working together. Well, everybody wants to help the veterans, right?
Yeah.
So that was a really great start. So there's plenty of things out there that we can help together. And I think it's just great to realize nobody's the boogeyman,
Right.
that we're not so bad, not either side.
And
There's people that
at
are
the
bad.
end of the day, I mean, I think people can walk away from an event like that and they may not even think politically during those 6 hours that they're trying to help someone. And at the end of the day, they go, oh my, I remember a great story I heard from somebody where two people were in a choir and they were trying to learn the music together. And the director was like, if you guys only knew,
Right.
your backgrounds, there's no way you would probably talk to each other, but you're here working on a common goal.
Exactly.
And once again, it's a way to move Mason County forward into the future for the betterment of everybody.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Well, it is, and it's, we're all people, we're patriotic, we love our country, and we love our county and our community, and as we all live together, we need to work together and have fun together.
Exactly.
Really, this is, it gives us an opportunity. It's always been so encouraging to me every time I come to this meeting, just feeling the camaraderie of people who love the county and love, want to do good here, and it's been it is really fun.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be on every committee. You can kind of choose your interests, and or if you have another idea, we're always open to new ideas and new ways of strengthening our communities.
And the general meetings are when?
The first Friday of every month, and that would be at 12:30 to 2.
Okay.
And then the third Wednesday in the evening for those who have to work, and that would be basically at 6 p.m.
And where are they at?
They're here.
Okay. So again, we're here at the Mason Hotel, which is right downtown on Railroad and Front, kind of right by all the great food trucks that are in the community here. It's a big open space that people are going to start to be able to utilize as well. Fascinating history, and it's always amazing when these groups have been able to sustain for such a long time and thrive as well in a great community like Mason County. So I
And we
appreciate
missed
the
some
time.
people who might have moved out of state.
Right. Well, you get her back here for
You
these.
gotcha. We're
You
back
can
to
come
business.
back and be the presenter for one of the meetings or
That's
something
great,
like that.
yes.
Leslie, April, and Jayni, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very
Appreciate
nice.
it.